Okay, welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time on the Long Dark. Hopefully I remember to chop off the spare bit I left on the last in the last video. Oh, we got some scurvy risk. Okay, so we'll need to eat some fish when we get back to town, which isn't going to be too bad. How do I want to handle this? What's the weather looking like outside? Yeah, this is some pretty good weather, so let's get the transportation underway. So, grab the first car battery and we start walking. Yeah, so with this level of weather, we should be able to get the car battery delivered to where we're going. Both car batteries to where we're going without taking any cold damage. And then I may take the trip back down to the bear meat pile to feed the character before we leave Desolation Point. So yeah, if you were watching the last video, hopefully you didn't. Hopefully you won't notice there will be a particularly long ending after the outro, because I think I forgot to stop the recording. So I'll have to edit the bit off after the end of the recording. Because I came back to record this section, and recognized that the recording for the last one was still going. Basically, you got to, if I don't edit it, you'll get the blank audio where I had the mic muted that Twitch would have had. Because Twitch doesn't get that edited out, because Twitch is live. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, that's one of the perks of being on YouTube, is the dead sections between parts gets edited out. Usually by not being recorded, but today it will have to be due to editing. And hopefully I remember. Though it will make compressing and uploading it a little bit slower. Because usually the bits that I edit don't get compressed.
Too much stuff
to save time, so that bit will be uploading slower, and will, because I'll have to shop a bit off of it, I'll have to get re-encoded, which will take time. But yeah, so a little bit of background just to fill the air as we're carrying this battery here into behind-the-scenes stuff. So this trip back to the battery, the bit that might get a little scary is actually going to be the trip to either Quonset. Well, actually, it'll probably be the trip out to. Well, it might be the trip back to Quonset. It depends on whether they decide to go to Quonset first or Misanthrope with the battery. I'll probably do the last leg one battery at a time instead of this bit where I'm doing one battery, go back and get it, one battery, move on to the next step. Once I get this stuff to the basement in Crumbling Highway, it won't make sense to drop it off, turn around, and go back to the last one. Because the last bit will be very long and potentially dangerous. And there's a decent point we'll be at the point where I'll need to take a detour for food. And we got scurvy risk coming up on us, so... not scurvy, scurvy. Scurvy risk coming up. So scurvy is probably something sufficient to convince me to actually go and get fish. Granted, that's not going to build up super fast. In theory, scurvy risk is like... probably best described in... Sorry about that. Just about solved the cough problem. Scurvy risk is a lot like cabin fever, where if you've been doing a decent job of avoiding it, often the risk doesn't go up very fast, because you're seeing the effect of what you're replacing it with versus what you're losing. So you might have had scurvy risk pop up because you had a couple good days that just rolled off and be replaced with sort of bad days. But if you then had bad days between the good days and the next good days, then it might not get any worse. Because it's based on what's falling off the record and not necessarily what Well, it's also based on what you're putting on the record, right? So if what you're putting on the record is better than what you're taking off, then it'll go down. If it's worse, then it goes up. But that means what you're really worried about is how good or bad you were. I think it's like 20 days ago, right? So was I eating fish 20 days ago? If the answer is yes, then I should probably be eating fish. If the answer is no, then we're not in a rush to go eat fish. And that's scary risk.
Might
It can
have to
be
drop some gear.
a bit finicky like that to know if you need to actually panic about it. Because the risk indicator is based on how much vitamin C you've consumed within the last 20 in-game days. So if you want it to go away, right, you can just eat fish, and then there'll be enough within the last 20 days because, well, you just ate it. It's still on day 0. Right, day 0, 1, or however you want to count that. Now, if you kind of yo-yo it a little too hard like that, what you get is no risk, no risk, no risk, no risk. One of the days where you ate, like, all the vitamin C rolls off, and it's like, oh, now you have a lot of risk. And that could be what could be a little bit annoying to work with. And then maybe one of the reasons I now currently have risk is maybe I just had a day where I was at the fishing cabin and we just ate a lot of fish. And that just rolled off. Or maybe rolling off. Think about as well.
Need to find some place to
Scratching the
escape
family
this
dog that
cold.
decided to walk up. Family dog gets pets. And it's probably wondering why it's only getting one hand petting it, because I'm obviously steering the other one. And the family dog walks
I
away.
need to drop something.
Second hand can go back to actually playing the game, streaming the video. Okay, so luckily enough, it's been roughly warm enough that we've been able to avoid pretty much taking any condition damage to the cold. That was one of the reasons we waited for it to be warmer. We will need to probably procrastinate a little bit in the mine to warm the character back up before we go get food. But I do probably want to feed the character before we leave Desolation Point, or I won't have enough calories to deliver the first battery to one of our destinations, which is going to be closer to the next food source.
Wait. I'm so cold, I'm warming up again.
Bit of a walk here. Not much to talk about, which is why I was talking about things like behind the scenes stuff, just keeping it entertaining. Okay, so we want to leave the battery behind. Pass a little bit of time to warm the character up. So this is actually a good time to do stuff, minor maintenance stuff, like sharpen our axe here. In this case, I probably have enough calories that we can sprint here to get down to the food faster, save the good weather longer. This isn't to avoid temperature, right? So this is to get to the calories faster, so we can come back in good weather. Because we are warm enough that we will not be cold during this transit, even if we walked it. So if you wanted to conserve calories, you'd walk this trip right now. I will probably still walk going through the mine, just because I'll give us more time to warm up in the mine. Now, one thing I may do to save some resources, I may light a torch. Well, light a fire and take a torch from the fire to go through the mine.
My fingers feel numb.
Because the real risk going through the mine from a resource standpoint is that we're running a bunch of lantern fuel. So we can use the magnifying lens here because it's a surprisingly sunny day to get a stick burning. And then we can take that stick, that flaming stick, down into the mine.
Come on.
There we go, thank you. There's this version of fuel, we can pick it up. Should be good enough fuel. And yeah, that was the salt deposit. Apparently I missed it on the way through the first time. Right on the way through the first time, I think we were pretty full in coal, so I wasn't looking at every nick and cranny for coal. At that point. Alright, I'm going to keep my head on a swivel, because in theory, I think I missed a bunch of coal deposits. Or not a coal deposits, salt deposits on the way out. So it might be worth trying to harvest those on the way back. In the other mine, I mean. Now the question here is, do I decide to be greedy and try to bring some meat with me? So I do have a torch with me, so I wouldn't be too worried about the wolves trying to stalk me. Come back with the meat. Whereas before, when we were trying to hold the battery, we were overweight as well, and with no torch. Might be a little greedy and try to take some of the meat with me. Okay, sorry about that. Had another cough, and didn't want the wolf to
Can't feel my
jump me
hands.
mid-cough. That would be a bad time. Okay, so there we should have enough fuel in the torch, enough meat to carry back, so we'll probably take... Actually, I'll probably take most of this meat all the way back to where we're going. Just so I got more meat at the entrance to destination point. Okay, I'm not too worried about the guy following me on my butt, but because he's not between where I'm going and where I am. But yeah, I can go through the mine with this meat,
So cold.
and I'll probably take it all the way up to the
Just wanna
entrance
drink
to
water for a bit.
Desolation Point, up around the entrance to DP. This is actually a shortcut. This might be a little bit of a shortcut to what I'm trying to do. Yeah, this is a slight shortcut for what I'm trying to do. Oh, there we go. Nope. Maybe? There we go. Get the little stool back there. Yeah, got this meat back here. We'll happily carry this all the way out to the entrance to DP, so if I need food later, I've got stuff right at the entrance to DP. And then we'll leave DP with full calories. That should mean we'll have enough calories to get the first battery the rest of the way to Misanthrope, where we'll try to deal with the vitamin C scurvy problem. Which I will check up on how that's progressing when we get to the mine. If I didn't have so many torches stockpiled in various places, I'd be more concerned that I'm burning 49% conditioned torches, but with so many torches, I should use them. And yeah, so 49% is like 1% below like the max you can just randomly pull out of a fire.
Can't feel my feet.
And cloth and oil on Stalker, or cloth and oil on Interloper is difficult enough to get a hold of. That I don't like building perfect torches. Because that's made out of lantern oil and sticks and cloth. So the stuff just pulled out of the fire is usually what I work with. So like the best I'm usually going to have on me is 50s. So the fact that I've got like half a dozen 50s is me being greedy. I mean, it's at a point where I should not feel concerned with burning a couple, just to get places. So in this circumstance, the torch is probably actually keeping me warmer longer, so I'd probably at this point be taking some damage if I didn't have the torch. Which is one reason I'm keeping the torch lit. The other reason is so that I don't have to use the lantern fuel, because it probably won't be this recording stream, but I suspect next recording stream I will be doing a very long fishing session in an attempt to get 3 liters of cooking oil, or not cooking oil, 3 liters of lantern oil, just to hand over to the trader. So I'd like to not,
felt
you
so
know,
cold in my life.
be burning the stuff I'm trying to sell. You can imagine that not necessarily being the most conducive to export. Okay, we'll eat the meat. Technically, I should probably leave the meat outside, like right here. We probably want some water too, so we'll grab some water. We'll hydrate the character. Yeah, we now have plenty of water. If we start running into food problems, we'll eat the jerky. Okay. And carb already won. That already puts us overweight. We're not too bad overweight. We're only 10 kilograms overweight, which for standard overweight travel is pretty fine. Full 15 would probably be pushing it. In theory, in here, I believe there is a salt deposit somewhere. So I'll be on the lookout for it a little bit as I walk through here. It's still on the first way through. It's probably down one of the dead ends. It's probably, well, yeah, it's probably down one of the dead ends I didn't go down. You're not salt. Well, not section, obviously. We got a workbench here, so probably not this section. Time to swap torches. Yeah, so we're now on the point where I've only got 50% left. So you can imagine a perfect torch, which you can make, would last twice as long as this one. Okay, so there's the salt. We'll want to probably mine that. Probably come back for it after I drop off the second battery. And then I'll put a mark in the log saying I acquired the salt. Okay. Okay, got the mic muted there for a bit because the family was trying to call the dog, and the dog is maybe going. The dog visiting for Christmas, so the dog does not actually stay here. The dog will be going back to the other family home. Oh, I can drop the coal as well, save a little bit of weight. Okay, so now we probably have enough weight to pick the other one up and not take a speed mouse on the way back. And in theory, as we lose these torches wear out, we also gain more carrying capacity because the torches are... Well, the torches waste something, right? So... I think I'll probably try to get these to the... Well, assuming the weather's decent, I'll try to get these to the basement in Coastal Highway, or in Crumbling Highway. And then I'll probably, at that point, it'll probably be like midnight and a good time for the character to actually sleep to recover his fatigue. Doing a little bit of one-handed driving there as I mute the mic to muffle the cough, and then unmute the mic. So I had to have one hand available to do that while walking. So you can't both walk and steer when you're doing that very easily. Okay, so this torch is about in its last legs, so after I pick this car battery up, we'll drop it and swap torches. And yeah, we're still overweight, and we're overweight because of fatigue at this point, right? Though we're barely overweight at this point, so we can get this battery up to the destination, go back and get the salt. real quick. In fact, I'm half tempted with how light we are just to grab the salt on the way out. So I might actually save a little bit of time and do that. I walked past it, so now we'll have to go back for the salt. Salt's actually... No, I didn't walk past it. I'm losing track of where I am in this mine. It's coming up here. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, let's get the salt off over here. It's gonna make it a little bit slow for the next bit, but that'll be fine. I suppose if Sutherland himself wants some salt, we can always bring him salt. I haven't memorized the list of things he wants.
Wonder if I can
I just
drop
looked
any
at
of this
the
gear.
big ticket recipes. So I might actually try to make use of some of the smaller ticket items to buy in the future. So I'm pretty sure we can buy things like lantern oil and salt and stuff from him, so it may make sense to sell him different stuff rather than just bringing him, or trying to buy the high quality stuff every time. High quality recipes. Yeah, and I have looked it up since the 1 of 10 thing that I saw is actually his what his opinion level would be from succeeding at the trade. So it starts at, well, basically if you succeed at your first trade, it's at 1. Right? So 5, 10, 15, 18. 5, 10, 15, 18. I may have missed one in here. Yeah, I probably missed one here. So we've got 9.5. No, 4.5 kilograms of salt on day 111. Okay, torch transferring time. I'm gonna pick our stuff up again.
Heavy.
Swap for the next torch. Hopefully we do this before the torch burns out. The weather is sounding pretty bad, so there's a decent possibility I'll stick my character's head out and the torch will blow out. The weather hasn't blown the torch out yet. Yeah, let's try to... While we're here, let's try to get both these batteries delivered to the basement. We'll give the character a nap, probably to put him through the night, because he'll be quite tired. And then I'll determine whether I need to make a run for food, or deliver the first battery after the rest. And to be fair, a run for food might be picking a fight with the local wolves. Because they'd have a decent number of calories on them. Okay, it looks like dusk just ended, so we're now officially in early night. That transition does actually matter, because you're allowed
heavy.
to read books and craft during dusk, but not during early night. But we're late enough in the game, it doesn't really matter to us. Well, we're also not trying to craft right now, so it doesn't really matter to us not crafting. Oh, I suppose I can cook that fish as well. That would be a source of food. So I can cook the fish. Okay, muted the mic. Got a cough. Tried to drink a little bit of water to suppress hollow coughs. And now you're hearing my voice again. So we're gonna go pick up that second battery, pull that one down to the basement as well. And then we'll take the long rest and see what the weather looks like in the character's morning. It will probably be early morning for the character. I suppose it may be very late night. It might be just before dawn when we actually come out. Oh, the rest.
Making my head feel thick.
The alternative is I can take a moment to cook that fish before we have the character sleep. I think you're doing it the other way around. That may cost me a match, which is a price in that situation I'm willing to take. Because then at least I've got the flaming torch for safety on delivering the first one out to the coast, Crumbling Highway coast. Which I wouldn't have if I cooked the fish before I went to sleep. But yeah, looking at the time, I think that sleep is where I'm going to go ahead and put the part break, so it's coming up.
Freezing.
If you're watching on YouTube. We'll have to do a little bit of editing in the last one, if memory serves. Hopefully won't need to do any editing. Could do a little bit editing in this one. But, the bit I paused to, off, because of approaching wolves, could technically edit that one to be a bit shorter, but that would be a lot of effort for very little reward, I think, from an editing standpoint. So yeah, if you're paying a lot of attention, you could try to make a guess on whether I actually did that edit.
Too much stuff to carry.
Because I was muted, hopefully we'll be muted before and after the edit, if I do the edit, so it'll be a hard edited spot. But yeah, so, I hope you've been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, I think I'll probably go ahead and make sure there is a part up tomorrow, because I probably will record one more part. I do want to deliver the first of these, if not both of these, in this recording stream. I suppose I can sleep with carrying one of these. It's not going to make a big difference. And if you're watching on Twitch, because there is going to be at least one more recording session, feel free to, or one more part in this recording session, feel free to hang around, and I'll record it right after the break. But basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell the character it can sleep as much as it can, up to 10 hours. And this will be the part break. So I hope you've been enjoying. Catch you all in the next part. Bye for now.